Hello everyone, welcome to another Rick's Picks. Recently the heavy metal band GWAR released a documentary about themselves called This is GWAR, which had a limited theatrical release and also is now streaming on the channel Shudder. So I thought it'd be cool to do my review of the written history of GWAR in the form of the book Let There Be GWAR, which is known to most GWAR fans as the GWAR Bible. So let's take a look at this thing and see what it's about. So here we got Let There Be GWAR, the actual book itself. And let me tell you something, this is a great book. Anybody who's a GWAR fan, or even if you're not a fan of GWAR, the story behind this band is just amazing. There's a lot to it. You know, there's a lot more to this than your normal rock and roll band or what have you. Now to start off, let's look at the cover. The cover is beautiful. And what it is, and I don't know how well it'll translate to video, but it's a triple hologram cover. So if you turn it this way, you got 80s GWAR, 80s, early 90s GWAR. You spin it this way, now you have current GWAR, or at least current to this book. And then one more, now you have 90s GWAR. So this is a neat feature. I thought it was kind of cool. The information that is in this book is compiled by Bob Gorman and Roger Gassman. So these are the two gentlemen right there who are responsible for what you're about to look at. Turn it around, look at the spine. Spin it this way. Oops. Wait. Let There Be GWAR. Nice lettering. You know, gotta wipe a little bit of that dust off. You come around to the back. You have the skew for it. You have this nice piece of art with Slimenstra, Sleazy, the Sexecutioner, and a few slaves. Now, you turn it to the side. You got this really nice red edging on all the pages, which I thought was a nice touch. So we're going to look at a little bit of the inside of this, you know, because there's a lot to this book. You look here, you got pretty much the history of GWAR, the family tree. What started it? Where did everything come from? So you got Death Piggy up here. You got, you know, Mob Sub, Red Cross, and a whole bunch of things that lead up to who came from where and what that makes up GWAR. And I thought this was like really cool. And then you have, you know, all this in here, which is just multiple things of I believe these are backstage patches or whatever for GWAR, which is really nice. You got your introduction to the book and a piece of art. And the one thing I like about this book is not only is there a lot of information in it, but there's a lot of good art and photography in it too that really hooks you in. You know, right here you have some old school, this is like 80s style GWAR right here, which is pretty neat. And then, you know, you have all these old pictures from back in the day, you know, old flyers and so forth. You know, a lot of the history, how they make stuff in some of this. And, you know, you could just go through this 100 times. And I've read through it once or twice. And even then, I still miss some stuff in some of this. But overall, I mean, you get all this beautiful artwork in here. You know, and just pictures of, you know, throughout the years. Because they started in the late 80s. You know, and then worked themselves up to present. You know, you have a couple tour date lists, calendar stuff. I mean, they really chalked this full of information. You know, there's a lot of old photos in here. You also have, oh man, I just lost it. This photo shoot that was done, you know, with GWAR about a couple, you know, see, when did that happen? In 1990. So right around when Scumdogs came out. So you got the, you know, nice art here. Menstra. Got the Sexecutioner. You know, the technos, sleazy. And, you know, like I said, it's just page for page. It's just a lot of old school good stuff. They pretty much go into the complete history of the band from start to pretty much where the book finished. You know, it also has stuff on how they made up some of the movies. So this is from the Cardinal Sin video. They have stuff on Skullhead Face, which is right here. So they talk about the goods, the bads, and so forth. Right here, this was in the actual documentary here about Peter Lee getting shot, which, man, that was pretty hardcore. I tell you what, after that incident, man, I have mass respects for Michael Dirks. So he stood with him throughout that whole thing, and that's, you know, not everybody would do something like that. So that, kudos to him. And you just, other things that they've been in, like, you know, Empire Records, which that was also mentioned in the documentary. And there's definitely going to be a lot of stuff in here that the documentary just couldn't cover. Because there's so much, especially in the early 80s, they kind of had like they even said in the documentary, is almost like a rotating, you know, thing of artists coming in and out. So it's hard to keep up with all that. But I think for what they had time for, I think they did a good job. If you really want more in depth, this is the way to go. This book just has, as far as I'm aware of, pretty much everything. And there you go. There's that nice piece of Matt GWAR art right there. And then, you know, Slaves Out. More pictures of Odorous. Ballsack. You got, you know, Gusher the Jizz Mag right here. And just overall, there you go. You got a little bit of, you know, some Corey Smoot, you know, Flatus there. And I don't know, I just, there he is there. You know, Rip Corey Smoot. And then, you know, the introduction to, you know, Pussilus. You know, right here, they're talking about the stuff with, AV Undercover. Odorous was also in a show called Holliston for a while. That's a great show. If you like horror and just silliness, that is definitely a worthwhile show. So it gets all into that. Then you have early Blothar right there, because of course they have to go into, you know, the death of David Brockie and what have you. And, you know, that was definitely an emotional section for any GWAR fan. And, you know, just more art. You got, you know, all the all access passes here, which is really nice. Different ways the logo has been throughout the years. And I can't, here we go, the GWARBBQs, of course. And, you know, and what a fan looks like after and during a show. And then you get, once again, this nice red backing with the, you know, lettering and the GWAR band logo. So also with this book also came this little piece here, which is filled with like fan art and letters to GWAR, which I thought was kind of cool. You know, I thought this was like just a neat little addition to the book. You get all this as well, and even a nice little letter from somebody who isn't so much a fan. I kind of enjoyed that as well. So anyway, that is my review of Let There Be GWAR. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, hit a like, share, subscribe, maybe leave a comment if you want, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.